a showcase in Uganda.
Uganda have always been a part of our public life, our private lives. They've contributed in so many ways, and we wanted to honor that. With the exhibit that we are concluding today, we have showcase stories of women that have been inspirational, that have been impactful, and women who deserve a thank you for all that they've done for us, for the barriers they've broken for us. So today, our closing ceremony is just to thank them, just to educate everybody about their stories, and to celebrate women.
We're here today to celebrate Ugandan women's history. Why is it important? Because history is what defines us. When we look at our inspiration from the past, we learn to see what we can be in the future. Ugandan women have played an extremely important role in shaping our lives as young women here through legislation, business, and advocacy. And it's important that we celebrate them and remember their power and remember that we spirit for gender equality in our country. One way that women are kept out of the media, kept out of the good shadows and good light, is by hiding their stories and ensuring that we are invisible and our work has remained somewhere else where it can be celebrated. But because of how Uganda looks at that issue and challenges it and says how can we bring out this information gap and how can we celebrate Ugandan women who are homegrown, who have impacted other Ugandan women's lives and helped shape our country.
Trust Secretary General NRM, Chief Justine Lumumba, Kasule.
Our exhibit is in 3 sections. It runs a pre-colonial section, which has the story of Queen Lumumba of Chigezi, who was a valiant warrior in the southern part of our country, who helped colonialism not take over Chigezi for quite a period of time. And then we have the story of Caesarean sections, how they were perfected in Bunyoro and Uganda. And then the story of the female Uganda Matters. When we hear Uganda Matters, we think we know the men. We don't say the women who are there with them. And yet, when you look at Uganda's Christian fabric, there's several women present. So we said, how can we look into this? We, of course, use the resources that we have, the internet, the church, and we were shocked to find the story of these Ugandan women.
So, first of all, let's first know our worth, treasure ourselves, and then we are able to take on whatever challenge. In life, when you look at the male creature and the female creature is a creature that behaves in a way that the other male creature cannot understand, but we are able to multitask. So even when we come in leadership, the NRM government has given us a springboard that you can begin with the women councils, women, as a youth, if you decide to take that channel. But as you come up, what do you carry with you as a woman? Even when we get to leadership, we should still carry with us the responsibility of multitasking. Because what happens, you as a woman in the home, or if you belong to the women council or the youth council, you can work with all groups of people. Let me give an example. If a woman woke up and decided that I want to grow Irish potatoes, she will grow the Irish potatoes. But how do we help those women be more responsible? Is by providing for them the market. So why do we then make them more responsible? We have to make sure they grow what will be consumed. Once a woman is told that please, you grow this market, they will work around to make sure they get the seeds. And as they do that, they will not do it for themselves. The woman in the neighborhood will learn of what is important and copy and take it. So it's also an instinct in us as women. When she's here telling us about her business, I'm picking 1 or 2 things that a woman moves with people, a woman must work with people, a woman must bring others on board. So for us as women in leadership, how we should grow other women, especially outside politics, is to make sure government provides an environment, an atmosphere for a woman to be protected, whether it's working on her land or somebody else's land, but most importantly, to provide market for what the woman is growing or what the woman is doing. Let me give an example. When we had Irish potatoes in the covered area, in the Chigezi area, and there was no market. The women were not growing market. When the government gave somebody money to go and process those Irish potatoes, women were calling even fellow women from other districts which are nearby to go and grow the Irish potatoes. When the market was lost, the woman lost faith in herself and lost even the self-esteem. So, how do we grow women? In this era, it's not about Lumumba oil, Sandiso oil, it's about providing an environment that motivates the woman to work and be able to uplift herself from poverty by providing good environment. When we talk of good environment, I've emphasized the market, but there is also access to cheap money. We in leadership, have we educated the women the money that is under the Ministry of Gender for the women entrepreneurship? Have we educated the women that now UDP has gone beyond the issue of giving money to the big women in big businesses in tourism, but have gone to the level of once the business is registered and the women or the woman holds more than 30% or the youth hold more than 30% in shareholding, UDP will fund. And once they are young women, UDP is not going to ask for security because these young women don't own land by our culture, though we have the law, but we still have challenges on implementation of the law. But to say these women, well, the environment where they are working or their working place, UDP will help them buy that space and get the land title and hold that land title as their security as they work to make sure they pay back the money of UDP, but as they loan them money to grow their business. So when you talk of leadership, now I want to take it on this off politics, bring it in terms of economic development, because this is where I've realized we have a gap as government, as women leaders, even those who are in the civil society. When we have information, we don't really share that information to uplift the woman. And once the woman has known what to do, whether in English or vernacular, will help us develop her family, develop herself, develop her community, and develop with everybody. Because when it happens to the man's side, she will go to help. When it happens to where the daughter is married, she will go to help. When it happens where the son marries from, she will go to help. She's the center.
When people are asking me how have we survived, I worked with finance, Ministry of Finance for 30 years. That's where my business started from. And that's where my first customers were. But I never touched the money from finance to build my business. It was clean money what do I mean? When I say clean money, it's like now going to him and he buys and I put in the business. So that clean, it means you have God. When you have God, you do the right things. For finance, when I had to give rank to them, they said finance gives me a lot of money. You are here. I've never been funded. This is the business for 24 years. This is the business I started my kitchen with 5 liters. I've grown. Just last week I got 4 awards from Italy for my wines. That is because of God. God leads you, shows what. I worked with finance for 30 years. That consistency. You are hungry, money is there, but you just see, you see people enjoying it. But where are they? So I tell young women, young entrepreneurs, do your business in a clean way. God will put a way. How does He put a way? He will show you the right customers, He will show you the right way. How me who came from Yashanje Kunjiri, made it to Kampala, worked with finance for 30 years, I wanted to run woman. For 43 years. It's not a simple thing. What does it show is that when you have God, you do the right thing. I'm not so proud of what this God. This is Madame Good, right? Yes. You remember when you used to come to Nagasaki, I think you were still struggling. I had 6 children in 7 years. So I used to struggle for them as I'm also doing the business. None of them had a chapeau. because I was determined. Once we do something with passion, other people say, my husband is not looking after me, my president, why do you want his racket? Why don't you pray for your own racket? You work for it. The president prayed very hard to be a president. I also want to work very hard, and I also earn. Why should I want to see this one who has prayed? He's earning, and I want to get from him. All of us are equal in God's face. If you pray, you are given. Now you want somebody to work very hard, and then you go and get from there. And I want to tell you today the meaning of my better wine. Better means belief leads to lasting achievement. When I was starting, I pressed the business. I said, I'm going to do this business, and it's going to achieve. Achievement is forever, not for whether I'm there tomorrow. It's like kiwi, shade. Somebody is at the end, I said, you should find that shade. So that's how better wine is going to be there forever.
My colleagues were really busy with school, and also some of them working 9-to-5 jobs, and we decided we should call it a volunteer-based organization. That's why at the beginning I introduced myself as running a volunteer-based organization, because it's a place where we can volunteer, and not only the same faces, but it's a platform for many other young people all over Uganda to come home and say, I want to give back to the community. And we major in mainly three things. One is on the education aspect of it. Through education, we have mentorship sessions where we speak to the young people on ground, the youth, both men and women, and speak to them about leadership, as Honorable Justine was here telling us about how to be a better woman leader in this country. So that is one of the things that we do. And so how best we can support this is ensuring we have successor plans. Imagine a world where everyone that is doing something holds another person's hand. That alone is immense support. If the people on this panel, I know Ms. Prudence here is already supporting people and mentoring others. Honorable Justine is doing the same. Portia and Kisha are doing the same. So imagine if every one of us in this room is mentoring a number of people, meaning the legacy will still keep alive. In that, even when we showcase our one patient psycho story there, it's beyond just me. It's also the young people in the rural areas, in West Nile, beyond even your home, that is getting this support. I personally have been mentored by Dr. Miriam Matembe, and because of that, I feel like I've also mentored so many other people, informally or formally. And also, the other thing that we work on ground really through the volunteer-based organization is under sexual reproductive health rights. So under this, we only deal in two major things. One is the access to better health care for GBV survivors. Gender-based violence is really on the rise in the rural areas. So how best can we support such people? Those that are in parliament, the legislators here, the honorables, and those that have spaces through civil society organizations, creating platforms and legislations that help enhance access to justice for these people is alone enough for us. And like Honorable Justine said, information is power. So what is your role in sensitizing about the work that you're doing?
Growing up in Uganda as the daughter of Mlukaji, I witnessed first-hand struggles and hurdles faced by many, especially women. However, instead of being deterred by these obstacles, I chose to use them as stepping stones towards my goals. With an unyielding spirit and thirst for knowledge, I embarked on a path of self-discovery and personal development. My education in Uganda and the United Kingdom set a firm foundation for my career in teaching and television broadcasting. I found my calling in the world of television, a platform where I could amplify voices, challenge perceptions, and spark meaningful conversations. I trained further in television and broadcasting in South Africa, Zimbabwe, Scotland, Germany, and Kenya, which enabled me to make meaningful contributions to the defunct Uganda television, popularly known as UTV. From the onset, I embraced the importance of professional work ethics. understanding that success is not merely defined by talent, but by the relentless pursuit of perfection in every endeavor. Whether behind the camera or in front of it, I approach each task with professionalism, recognizing the privilege and responsibility that comes with being a part of such a dynamic field. Through dedication and hard work, I've carved out a niche for myself, not just as a professional, but as a beacon of hope for aspiring women and men in the industry.
We really thank God that we are here. The Honorable Justine Lumumba, thank you so much for sparing time to come and be with us. I also want to first apologize to Kesha and Posha. They had an idea that we should have a huge function. She's the Minister in Office of the Prime Minister, General Duties. She was a government chief. So she's not a government chief. Many people were wondering after the reshuffle whether there was another reshuffle yesterday. No, she's still a Minister of Office. So she was a Minister of State for Urban Planning, the Minister of Lands, and of course she is a former Member of Parliament, woman Member of Parliament for Ujiri district. And we are honored to have her here this evening speak to us. And she was most importantly the Secretary General of the mighty NRM party. And because of her, many girls joined the National Resistance Movement. I want to take this opportunity to invite her to come and speak to us this evening.
Thank you so much, Honorable David Bahati, the Minister of State in charge of Industry in the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives. Honorable Charles Saibe, the MP for Koboko Municipality, and also Honorable Ham Mulida, former Minister, but also strong business person in this country, in the area where we still need more women to occupy that space. That is ICT, technology. We need it because now in the future, everything is rotating around that. Security, food, transport, you are now the center. Help us have more women occupy space in there. Our panelists, and Portia and Kesha, I was reading Portia. Now I found here Kesha. But when they were welcoming me, I wanted to ask them, did you go to the same tailor? But now I've understood why they are putting on dresses of the same color, and yet they look alike like twins. But you are twins? You see? So I'm here discovering this. So, and also to be informed that the parents are also here. Those, God bless them more. Can we clap for them? Because from what I've observed here, they didn't cheat you. They gave you time. And in this era, if parents have given you time, that's the best treasure you can get. Let's clap for them. And all participants who are here, Honorable Bahati called me and said, I want you to come for this because of her. I said, what is it? No, you will come and see. They do a lot of things. What do they do? Because of her, and I was in the village. But because I've been with him for quite some time, so many years, I could not say no. I said I will come. So yesterday, because I had promised, I could not even remember the day, and I never put it in any time. So when my cousin sister lost her husband, I was taken up with that. But I'm so grateful that you sent me a message yesterday. Because I committed myself, I had to make sure I'm here. So I apologize for coming late. I've been in this room, we are attending a burial. You know, these are cultural responsibilities we can't run away from as women, as leaders, and as people in the community. So I had to go and attend the burial of the husband to my cousin sister, Dr. Dan Wamala of Mulago Cancer Institute. So I had to run back, but nobody would understand me, but because I had committed myself. One thing I want you people to know, we as women, once you've committed yourself, remain committed. The moment you're not committed, even your fellow women will despise you. And when you see people despising you, you yourself, you lose self-esteem. And that is what kills the woman. Once a woman has no self-esteem, nothing will happen. But once you have self-esteem, even if you never went to school, you'll get what you want. Let me give you an example. If I even come to my speech, always, there are people I admire. Leave alone Honorable Miriam Matemi. She has courage and self-esteem. But that one is a lawyer. Yeah. She went to school and put schools, Namsagala and whatever. But I want you to look at people like the late Sebagala, who was our former mayor in Kampala here. You know, he didn't go to school, like many of you have gone to big schools and whatnot. But because he grew up in the environment, in Kampala, in the center of Kampala, Kasule, he had what is called, is a true definition of self-esteem to me. And that made him do whatever he wanted to do, and got all that he wanted to get in life, and beyond, he was always so grateful to God. Let me give you an example. I always see people who are going to talk to others, but even when they are not prepared, they don't talk. But Sebagala, Alhaji Sebagala, without permission from his family, I want to say this. When he was going to address people, he would get those who went to school and write for him his speech. He tells them his speech in Luganda, they write his speech in English, and then somebody reads it in English, he writes it in Luganda, the way you pronounce it in English, he writes it in Luganda, and he goes to give a speech in English. So you will not know the difference between which school he went to, those who went to big schools and those who never went to school, because he's doing exactly what those people with masters, with PhDs could have read. What is that? And because of that, he would really give his speech. I remember when we invited him in the national conference of NRM of 2015, he came and gave a speech, and everybody was so surprised. And that's when I learned the trick. I followed him and said, "What is it? Tell me." Then he told me. What does that mean? Whatever you are doing, make sure you keep the right people around you, the right brains, the right skills around you. You achieve even if you didn't go to school. Have self-esteem and attract the right people around you. And be able to, and even look for the people who are so right. But as Mama said, as you pray to God to bring the right people in your life, to bring the right people in your way, you'll be able to achieve self-esteem. Second person that I wanted to reflect on is called Alhaji Ladud. Because of self-esteem, he will say what he wants to say. Whether you want the message clear or not, but he will say it. If it means demonstrating, he will do it so that you get the message. And if you don't get the message, that's up to you. For him, he has been able to finalize and go. We always have a challenge as women. We always assume that what you know, others know. As we gather to celebrate and reflect on the achievements of Ugandan women who inspire, empower, and lead us with grace. I want to extend my heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you for being part of this remarkable event, which not only recognizes the incredible contributions of Ugandan women, but also underscores the importance of investing in their potential. And here we are today, Portia and Keshi, are showing us the potential we have in the young women. I'm so happy and delighted. I sat there very, should I say, direct translation, satisfied that the space was created. We have kept creating more space, but you have come in to make us occupy the space, but also show us the gaps as we deepen into this journey as women. I see different people here, including those maybe I last saw 10, 20 years ago, but bringing us together as people with different backgrounds, experiences, and talents. But everybody is important. What I want to share with you today, members, people who are here, everybody in this world is useful and everybody is important. It is our responsibility to find out how useful that person is or what is the skill in that person. For us, when we are this way in politics, we don't discard anybody. Apart from the vote, we always say, this one is so bad, but we will need this person at this situation, and that person will play a role. Let me give an example. If we are into the depth of politics, those people you see who are very nice and those people who are very, very bad, when it comes to time to take decisions where you know so will not support, you bring in that person to do all of that is good at, the other person walks away in annoyance, you pass what you want, and you achieve what you want. So that shows you everybody is very important. For us in politics, when you are going to the village and somebody, there is a drunkard, when you arrive, the drunkard will say, so was here and they sang the same song to that person. Now they are singing you the same song. And the same person is singing it. Now you are going to give that envelope. Give it to me, the drunkard, so that I give you tomorrow proper information. Everybody is important. So investing in women is not just a moral imperative. It is the utmost strategic decision that yields tremendously in whatever sphere you decide to invest. The returns to society are immense, not only to the individual. So when you invest in a woman, you have invested in a woman. You have invested in the family. You have invested in the community. And you have also invested in the whole country and the community and the world. So we should be able to unlock the innovation, drive progress, to build a more equitable world for all of us. Those who were there before, who you have recognized, and those you recognized the years before, and those we are yet to know more about, like today I heard that there were female Uganda matters, and yet I thought I knew a lot about Uganda matters, but I got information today. So, that means that we will continue and recognizing those who even we didn't know about. So it gives us a challenge that we should also put extra time in research to be able to bring those whose relatives or parents or families were able to contribute to this journey. So we began the journey at a certain level, but there are those who were there before. So I also want to say thank you in a special for recognizing them. So when Honorable Hamulira was talking here, I was saying, I wish they had sent us the daughter. Then I said, in him, the woman made him to be what he is. So he's here because there was a woman at that time. So investing in women goes beyond simply providing opportunities. It requires creating environment and facilitating the process so that the women can thrive. But there are those where we cannot facilitate. We as human beings, but there is one who can facilitate, and that is God. So whatever we are doing, we should keep God with us. We should be able to break down all these barriers, the challenging stereotypes, and fostering a culture of inclusivity and empowerment. as we celebrate the achievements of women, let us also recommit ourselves to the cause of gender equality. Let us pledge to be champions of change, advocates for justice, and allies for those whose voices need to be heard, whose stories must be told. Let us support initiatives that provide women with access to education, health care, and economic opportunities. We should also mentor, sponsor, and uplift the next generation of the female leaders in all directions and all spheres, in all sectors. Most times when we talk of leaders, people look at we politicians, but she has told you how many people she's employing. Mrs. Goodra is employing here more people than I employ. I hold a big office in government, but I don't employ those people. But these people are employing them. Yet they don't have the big voice I have. So wherever you are, be impactful, be meaningful to people. They will also be meaningful to you. Let us challenge the status quo and demand a seat at the table for women from all walks of life in Uganda and beyond. By the way, if we analyze all of the laws we have on our shelves, we have not yet achieved what we can achieve. Because sometimes, even me, I sit sometimes in meetings, we pass maybe members of boards, and then we've not demanded for our 30% as women. And by the way, even if you pass a board where they are all women, that is in harmony with the law. But if you don't have the 30%, that is not in harmony with the law. So we can achieve to have everything women, because the current law gives us that space. So then when it also comes to issues to do with the manifestos of political parties, when I was Secretary General, especially 2020, 2021, I worked with all Secretary Generals under IPOD to make sure issues of women are put in all their manifestos, and very clear issues to do with the women. If we only went back, me and Bahati and the Honorable and looked at all the manifestos, we can hold all governments accountable on issues to do with women, including my government. Let me give you an example. In the NRM manifesto, we promised Ugandans that 30% of all of the contracts government will be giving out will go to the women. 30% of them will go to the youth. But you know, for us, we can be a woman and be a youth. So that means we can get the 30% for the women, but also go for that of the youth and have amongst the youth women to bring it to this side. You can imagine if we woke up and all the contracts in government are taken by women. That would be the biggest empowerment we'll have. Because when you get a contract, you employ women. And we make sure when you're employing, 30% must be women. So that's why I'm saying that we all must challenge ourselves wherever we are to make sure the interests of the women, the space of the women is not eaten up. But of course by the men who are our sons and the husbands. But they were there before they have had all that. They should accept and have with us and give us our 30% plus. When it comes to investing in women, it's not just the right thing to do. It is the utmost appreciation you can put to nature. Because when you invest in a woman, you have invested in a brighter and more prosperous Uganda and world. I liked when she said that when a man gets money, they will go and get more women. But when a woman gets money, we will enrich the family, enrich the family, enrich the family. I liked that, and I commend you for that. Continue telling them. They will not feel offended. They will take your advice.
If you are doing it, stop it. If you are not doing it.
Thank you. So, in conclusion, the NRM government is empowering women and girls through provision of education, inclusion in economic activities, and processes of ensuring that public services are responsive, inclusive, and effective. By providing you with the necessary knowledge and skills, we can change and create a more participatory and transparent system of governance that meets the diverse needs of all the women. Let's all look at the government programs. And wherever you are, make sure if it's a government program that is really empowering the woman, empowering the family, pay extra attention. Let me give you an example. We have the parish government model. When they've given out money, in the town where I come from, that is Virginia, how you are able to tell that they've given out money in this district parish government model, money which is meant to enhance people's economic activities, whatever they are doing to improve on the income of the family, they will go running by. You will see there are no mattresses. They will buy all of the mattresses in the town and all the town councils and trading centers. But what income is that mattress going to bring to the home? I was in Imbale, and they were telling me that if you want to know that government has given people money for parish government model, people in Baz will be very happy. And this one with the phone would go and tell the bartender that this is the phone, then pulls out the paper and says, this is the paper, this is the code. So remove what is yours and send to yours and give me back my phone and my paper and I go, being at the mercy of the other person. That means that we in government, you in the civil society, we, all of us as community, are yet to sensitize these people, to understand and appreciate the challenge before them. They've not yet understood what is before them. And because they don't know what they are missing, you know, you cannot feel bad about what you don't know what you are missing. So, but if you would tell them that if you have some income, you'll be able to do 1, 2, 3, they will now change and it will change that attitude. But if we've not told them, they will not know what they are missing. And they will be happy and contented in the situation in which we are, and in which they are, which is not good. I picked all of you and all of us here stand together, hand in hand, as we work towards Uganda, where every woman, every girl has the opportunity to fulfill her potential and make her mark on the world. When you talk about sanitary towels, I come from a village, one of the remotest villages in Rusoga. But I want to tell you that it is a big issue, the issue to do with sanitary towels. We promised to provide them in our NRM manifesto. We've not yet provided. But we make sure in all toilets we are providing condoms. So I want to urge you, my colleagues in Parliament and in Cabinet, let's educate the people to leave the issues to do with where they have to go for condoms. Because those are adults, they already know they can purchase them, and we go for the sanitary towels. Because the girls are so young, they even don't know what to do. They are not even there to be bought by the way in some of the villages. But the condoms are sold everywhere. And people go for them when they know what they are going for. But these girls, things happen when they don't know what is even happening. So I take responsibility because I'm part of the team that has not provided to the girl child. And yet in the cabinet we have our 30% plus. As women, we are more than 30%, I think we are about 40%. But we have not really put our foot down to make sure we look at this young girl. So we all take responsibility and we are all guilty as women in the cabinet. Because that's the beginning of everything. So we shall now go for the civil servants who generate whatever we discuss much later, but we have to own up and find solution to this. We have religiously provided condoms, but even what is the percentage Is it decreasing the one of HIV/AIDS or not? So, if no solution, if it has not provided a solution, then let's go for the innocent. Leave those ones. Education has been given to them, information and knowledge about HIV/AIDS. We go for these ones who don't know. And make sure we give them right away. Without it, that girl will never have self-esteem. You will never have self-esteem. It's a big component in the life of a young girl. Portia and Keshi, I want to say welcome to this world and thank you for coming with solutions. All that I want to say is that as you do your work, all the programs and work with these ministries, we shall introduce you to the Ministry of Gender so that you appreciate the challenge, because information is lying there, even about the area where you want to work. And also introduce you also to the Ministry of Finance, where she used to work, and whatever she has told us the stories, because they also have those agencies. And I felt so bad that when she was telling us that UDB has refused to give her money to buy machines so that she can employ more people and be able to produce more and be able to export. And I will take it up with the board and the ED Patricia, because it's very unfortunate. I want to say thank you for being what you are and being what you are to us and to the community. And I want to say thank you to your parents, and Honorable Bat and the team have been able to make it. I want to say in a special way, Mama Teresa Maton. For me, I never got the opportunity to see you on TV, because where I grew up there was no TV. I only saw TV when I was joining Makerere University. Yes. So, but what we have been told is that you impacted on many, and those got the opportunity. But that means that we should also include. I felt so bad to say, where was I able to see this one? I tried to count 1, 2, 3. I said, where was the TV? Not in my father's house, not in the neighborhood, not in the next village, not in the next sub-county. But how do we make others not to face that problem? It is our responsibility to make sure no more people should feel bad like I felt today. But I want to say thank you, and I liked your speech. I want to thank everybody who has talked to us and those who have been able to attend this function. All that I can say, Koshi and Keshi, I'm very available. I'm very available, because what you are doing is what is going to make more women come up and occupy this space and make the world a better place to live. I thank you.
You let us know when you're done.